Hey, crafters and fans, I just got back from my Kill Team Friday night, and my wife shows me that I have, oh, well, it doesn't matter, I don't want everybody to see my address. I got a box. I got a box from Nick.
They're going to pause it.
Yeah,
pause it and find out your address.
Well, cool, they can send me more stuff. No. So I got a box from Nick at IDICBeer because I won the drawing, and this is the Pass It Forward box. So we're going to see what loveliness. That's the bottom. Nick, thank you so much for smartly marking that, because I'd have opened it the wrong way and dumped everything all over myself. I was so excited. I was going to do oh, here it is. IDICBeer 40K mystery box. I am so excited. I was going to do like a long video and do all the editing and all that. And I'm like, nah, we're going live. No, F it, we're going live. Yeah. So let's see what wonderfulness arrived from England, because this will also give me a good idea, because I've got some ideas on my 500 subscriber box that I've started putting together. I've got some ideas for some stuff I'm putting in there. Now, unlike Nick, who's all about Necrons, I can tell you right now, one of the things that I know will be in there will be something Space Wolves related, because I love Space Wolves. Okay, hang on. I need my glasses, which I have in my pocket, I think. I do not. I think they're going to be in one of the black cases. I have to read, because there's rules, and I want to make sure I read the rules, because there are rules to this, and this will be passed along. This will be, oh, this is great. You know, this is really great, being part of, you know, an ongoing thing. All right. Okay, so important, please read this first. This hobby box began by Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush. You know, he just joined my channel as a follower. Rob, I hope you see this video. Thank you so much for starting this. Have a giveaway video, YouTube, at your next subscriber milestone. Mine is 500. That is when I'm going to be giving my giveaway. Once you've selected your winner, create a large hobby box full with a lot of stuff for our hobby. I will be doing that. The recipient of the hobby box does an unboxing video at their next milestone, and then sign this box top card and we'll repeat. So, Freak of Frost and Frisk, get your freak on. Nick, IDCBeer 40K, Necrons. Robert TMP, the Miniatures Paintbrush. And the other guy from Frost, I can't read your name, but you know what? Stay frosty. I feel really honored being a part of this. You know, these are actually 3 channels that I've been following for a while. I mean, and these are like 3 channels, to be the 4th person in this box. 3 channels that I follow and that I really think a lot of, and I think a lot of their content. I mean, Nick's Necron channel just really ignite a lot of fear, and Frost and Fist, just really great content, and I've actually learned a lot for the Miniatures Paintbrush. So to be part of this Wargamers Unification Group and to be part of this box pass along, I know it's, you know, it's just, it's really great to feel like I'm part of this. And I will do you guys proud. I promise whoever gets my box of 500, it is going to be good stuff. And it's going to be stuff indicative of the channel and the gaming that I try to present to the world. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for making me part of this. This has got to go. This is going to be protected and kept safe. And then we're gonna get in here. I'm gonna. Oh, and there's little notes and everything. Okay, we're just gonna start with what's on top and work our way down. Plane ticket to the JK. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's starting off with a Stuka. I mean, 1/44th scale German airplane. Okay, so what I haven't talked about a lot on my channel, I got into miniature wargaming, and I got into gaming and model building from my older brother Al. And my older brother Al is my hero. You know, I'm gonna put a lot into this kind of thought. Hey, Reed. My brother Al, he was, to be honest, he was my dad. I mean, he's my older brother, but he was more of my dad. He's 20 years older than me, and my bio father was never around. And so Al kind of took me under his wing as a little brother, but he was, you know, he was the father figure I had. And when I was very young, he is the best model builder I've ever seen. And I mean that in that he is an incredible artist. He does stuff with model kits that are just frighteningly phenomenal. And it was him that got me into model building and into model railroading. And when I was 8 years old, we used to go to this hobby shop near our house. And well, we used to go to the hobby shop before I was 8. But when I was 8, we went to this hobby shop, and for my birthday, and he bought me the D&D original blue basic game box set for my birthday there. And then we went home, and he also got me, I'll never forget, he got me a Spitfire, a World War II Spitfire. And for whatever reason, the model was in the most god-awful bright pink and neon turquoise plastic. But we sat down and we built that model, and we spent all night, and I could not get that landing gear on right. And I was so angry and so frustrated. And I left it on my desk. And he sat there with me the whole time we were building it. And I went to sleep. And after I went to sleep, he came back into my room. And he took that model and he sat down and he put those legs on. And he didn't know I was awake. He thought I was still asleep. But he took that plane and he put the legs, the landing gear on, and he set it up so that they would be suspended so they can properly be on there. And I'll never forget that, because he put the care and the depth of work that he does and the stuff that he builds. I mean, he builds pro-level kits. He's an incredible, amazing, wonderful kit builder. And I'll never forget that he has a thing for World War II. And so being able, just getting a kit, just a World War II kit that if I do nothing else with, I can sit down with my brother. I can go and drive out to his house, and we can sit down and do this together. This is It doesn't seem like much, but this is really, really cool. So, Al, you and I are doing this together. I know your love of German World War II stuff, so there you go. All right.
What we got now?
Okay, let's talk about this. Green Stuff World, every model needs a good wash. Green Stuff World's acrylic wash ink paints. You know, I've been wanting to get some of their stuff, and oh, it's a really nice kit. I like Green Stuff's World. I like their whole line of everything they have. They're just really, really great stuff. Very cool. Cool. I mean, we've been wanting to do another model mini building thing, and I've got a space green. I've been kind of planning for this, so maybe we'll see if we can use that. All right, let's see here. Ooh. The Jolly Green Giant. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, a Rock Troll. Oh, a Reaper Bones. Oh, yeah. These Reaper does some great figures. And this is the Reaper Bones Black. And it is Rock Troll. Ooh. You know, we're talking about doing that Nordic D&D campaign.
Yeah.
And I mean, trolls and ogres and orcs are going to be a big part of that. So cool. This will be, you know, maybe we'll do this for the painting. Maybe we'll do this in one of our painting videos.
That'd be cool.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we can do this as a painting video. That'll be awesome. All right.
What else we got?
All right. Where did I keep your nose out of? What? Keep your nose out.
No, let me see.
Okay. Some like mushrooms, but I won't eat these. Oh, I'm just dying to know what this is. Hang on, hold this. What's this here? Don't stop. You know, I'm look.
I know.
You know, I'm look.
You know, this seems unfair.
You can get out.
No.
All right.
You can't make me.
Oh, I can.
No.
Oh. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm running a zombie apocalypse game. And it's based on a fungal outbreak. The zombies are fungus. If you're familiar with if you're familiar with The Girl with All the Gifts, it's a fungal outbreak crossed with the fungus stuff up in World of Warcraft, in the Plaguelands. So mushrooms are, oh my gosh, this is oh, this is amazing. Okay, so this is a bunch of resin, and it's Spellcrow. Gosh, you know, I have been dying to get my hands. I can't really easily. I mean, I got a couple of really good gaming stores in my area. I have not been able to get Spellcrow anywhere around here, so I was going to have to, if I wanted some of their stuff, I was going to have to go and order it from overseas. Their kits are so good. And this fungal set, oh my goodness. The missus is going to look at this and just be like, that's nasty. That's
nasty.
Oh, these are great. This is going to be phenomenal. Oh, my players are going to freak when I set this up. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, this is so great. Nick, you are tuned in, my friend. You are tuned in. This is, if this was not planned because you've watched my videos, then I'm thinking you're like psychic. You've got like magical psychic powers, because this is absolutely phenomenal.
You are the king of the land of nasty.
I am the king of the land of nasty. All right, let's see here. Yeah. Okay, for those big magnets. Oh, a Spellcrow drill bit. For the big magnets. Oh, yeah, you know, I mean,
Fair. Yeah.
No. This is great. I mean, I've been magnetizing. I just did my tank, and if I had a larger bit that would properly fit, and that's for the magnets, that would have been a lot easier. So nice drill, but that'll work. I mean, I'm building a knight. That's one of the things I'll be building soon. One dice to rule them all. Oh, Den of Imagination. Den of Imagination, they're a paint service. So if you're not familiar with Den of Imagination, these guys are a paint service. They sponsor one of the channels I really enjoy, Winter's SEO.
Mm-hmm.
And they do really great painting. Oh my goodness. Is this a 30-sider?
I think that's a 30-sider.
That's a 30-sider. I haven't seen one of these in like 30 years. I remember buying one at Gen Con when I was a teenager. That's cool. You know, I've got a book on my shelf for stuff for 30-sided dice because it came with you bought the dice. And I don't have the dice anymore. So this is crazy. And it's a nice bag. That's a really nice bag. And it's Den of Imagination. So, I mean, I love these guys. I love the paint stuff they do. I mean, if you've seen Winter's SEO's stuff, I mean, just great stuff there. So a great paint job there. They have, maybe I need more of the stuff they provide. Maybe, maybe like to supply supplies and stuff. This is really cool. All right.
What's next?
This looks like a bag of bits. Bag of bits are always good. What do you got here? Something for your bits box. Oh, hang on.
There's a whole bunch of weapons and stuff.
It is, yeah, it's a bunch of extra bits. I recognize that flag.
Yeah, that's my flag.
That's the flag I just did for your army, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different 40K bits. There's some really good stuff in here. See what we can use for the girls. Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And the nice thing is that, bits travel well. So I'll have to sort through these. I'm seeing like bodies and whatnot in here. All right. Oh, I like that flag. Those upright like a Japanese banner. That's pretty cool. Bits are always good. Bits are always good.
And then we have this.
We'll get to that. All right, hang on. Make sure. All right. Warning.
Oh, there's something else.
Okay. Oh. Well, this was on the bottom, so we'll open that last.
Oh, no, it was on the side, but yes.
Warning, green death inside. Open and you might catch the plague. Oh, no, you will catch the plague.
Taking more death guard?
I don't know. I don't know. If it is, again, then you're talking about them being psychic. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, it's Death Guard stuff.
How much death guard?
It's spell crow. It doesn't matter the amount. It's a matter of it being.
I know it doesn't matter the amount.
It's wow. Okay, so this is the spell crow. Again, spell crow is really good bits. Top hatch for light vehicles. So like we're talking like if I was to get like another rhino, this is like the top hatch doors on a rhino. Oh, this, I saw these in one of their videos. The Plague Knight shoulder pads. This is like all their custom bits. Plague Lord conversion sets. A lot of these kits, these were designed for converting regular Marines into Plague Marines. These are so cool. Somebody recently, Midwinter Minis, he took the Marines that came out of the Shadow Spear box, and he converted them to Plague Marines using these.
That's cool as hell.
Oh my goodness. Plague doors for heavy vehicles. Oh, you know, I oh, my wife's gonna love this. We're gonna be getting more. Oh, these are more shoulders. We are gonna be getting
way more Death Guard.
We're gonna be getting more Death Guard. Yeah, I mean, I love my wolves. But we're gonna be passing on some more. We're gonna be passing on. Oh man, the front plate for like like the lights.
Chris, we're unboxing.
This is a whole bunch of stuff from Spellcrow. Plague Knight backpack. This is all their conversion kit stuff. Oh my goodness. Plague doors for light vehicles. This is amazing. Nick, you are an incredible person. Nick, wow. Ancient backpack. Look at that.
Is that just a straight body?
That's just a straight body. It's a Plague Martyr. That is, wow. This is cool. Like I said, you don't get to see a lot of these Spellcrow stuff in the States unless you like going to conventions, which I haven't been able to go to, or you don't find them in stores very often, so you're going online and buying them. So actually seeing this much conversion material in my hands.
Can you even use these on the tabletop?
Plague Prince. Oh my gosh, this is a Demon Prince. Yeah, I can do that. I don't play ITIC, so yeah, I can totally.
Oh, geez.
That is
disgusting.
This is gross. I love it. It's amazing. Oh, this is my Death Guard upgrades.
Jeez.
Plague Knight torsos.
Like United needed them to be any worse.
Doors for light vehicles. I'm gonna have to get a couple more rhinos. I am gonna definitely have to get a couple more rhinos. These are. Oh my goodness. These are. Nick, I'm embarrassed. This is crazy. This is amazing. I mean, this is all. I mean, this bag of Plague conversion kits. Again, more doors for vehicles. It's like an unending bag of filth. I love it. Plague Knight's legs. And more backpack. This is an entire bag. I'm gonna hold it all up after I get everything out of the bag. And this is an unending. This is like a bag of holding here. And then more torsos, more shoulder pads.
Any heads?
Backpacks. I mean, this is. Another set of legs. I mean, this is a bit. This is a conversion player's wet dream. Honestly, more vehicle pieces. I don't know what to say. I don't. I'm. Ugh.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know what to say. This is. I'm humbled. Nick, this is all getting built on the channel. This is all content. This is all going to become content. Nick, and everybody at the Wargamers Communication Group, but Nick, this is. I'm speechless, and that's not common for me. I normally always have something quippy to say. This is. I want to point out, okay, like I said, it's hard to get Spellcrow over here. I love Spellcrow. I love their stuff. It's amazing. And I'm looking at
backpacks, legs.
I mean, we're talking about we're talking. Jeez, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's 20. We're talking about close to 30 blisters of all their different plague conversion kits. As a Plague Marine player, as a guy who loves my Plague Marines and loves the Death Guard, I'm pretty freaking speechless. This is. I'm glad I'm doing this live because this is. Wow. Yeah. That's a hell of a bar to set. This is all going to become content. We're gonna make this into content. We're gonna do this right. Whew.
That's not all.
Yeah, I got one thing left in the box.
Don't bend.
And it says don't bend. It says this is things from 3rd edition. Nick,
Oh.
thank you.
What the hell?
This is the 2002 Necron Codex. Now, I don't play Necrons yet. I've been looking at them, but one of the things I love about them, and one of the reasons I want to play them, is because of stuff like this. They are a stunning army. They're just so beautiful, so simple, and so beautiful. And these early figures of theirs, these early builds. I mean, I was out of the game when this came out, and wow, I mean, their codex actually has the construction and paint guides in actually. Wow. You know, because I have an original Space Wolf Codex over there, and they were not like this. This is the kind of stuff that gets people into the game. This is the kind of stuff that gets people hooked. I mean, it was the Space Wolf Codex, the very first one that came out, that got me hooked on Warhammer 40K. This is a piece of history. This is probably, I think this is their first codex. I'm pretty sure this is like their first Necron codex. And for Nick, the king of Necrons, that's pretty meaningful. And this is his way of sharing his love of Necrons with people, as much as sharing his channel is. So this, on the walls of gaming stuff behind me, this is going to get an honored place. This is very cool. This is going to be put up there with the other collectible books, because this is a special piece of Warhammer 40K lore. And it's pretty enough to make me.
Yep, that is the. From what it's saying here, that is the first.
This is the very first codex. So this means that it is very likely, you know, one of the first books. This is the first book for Necron. So
yeah, they had other stat lines, but
yeah. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone. Reed, that's awesome to see. That is really awesome to see. If that's the picture that Ray was showing me, that'll be great. Mini painting and figure building and terrain building That's what got me into D&D. I mean, I was already building model railroads. I was painting miniatures. I was building models. And the whole idea of making adventures and stories with them rather than just leaving them on the table and leaving them on the shelf. That's what got me into this game. D&D, and then wargaming and 40K. And then my brother and his teaching me stuff and getting me interested in learning how to do stuff and putting that desire to me to teach other people. That's what really got me down where I'm at today. That's what got me on this path. I want to make better content. I want to make better content for you. I want to make better content for me so that I can give it to you, my viewers. I want to share the word. I want everyone that has internet that can see a video of mine that they can make their game table epic. They can make their game epic. They can make their war game epic. They can put stuff on the board and have people go, wow, you made that? You did that? This is you. This isn't some kit, something you built. This is something you did. I'm really excited about getting to 500 viewers. When I get to 500 viewers, I am going to, whoever wins that is going to get a box of my heart sent to them. They're going to get a box of what makes the Gamecraft Dragon this person. You're going to get a box of that. I am humbled. I am joyful. And I'm excited. I am so excited. I want my channel to stand up and be there for the world to game with me. I want to get kids, like me, 8 years old, wanting to play games. I remember out the Army, and I went to the gaming store because there was a really great gaming store in my neighborhood. And we were going to go there to get some books, and we were playing some different games at the time, role-playing games. And we walked in there, and there was this Games Workshop display that the owner had set up. And I remember looking at this group of cavalry and just looking at him and going, this is pretty cool looking. But I can't paint these. I wouldn't be able to make them look this cool. And the owner of the store was like, you kidding me? I did these in a couple hours. Why don't you come on by if you're interested? We'll talk about it some. And he pulled out this copy of Heavy Metal. I should say, pulled a copy of White Dwarf, and he pulled out, there was these things, the very early White Dwarfs, these Heavy Metal guides. And he flipped it open to these Elven Cavalry. And he's like, I just follow these instructions. They've got them in the magazines. And so I bought that box of Elven Cavalry. And I used that guide and I painted them up. And then when I learned that's how it worked, I went and bought a box of Elven Archers. These wood elf archers. And I painted them up like they had in the box. And they weren't very good. I mean, none of these were really very good. But the archers were better than the horses had been. And then I went and bought the Elven Spearmen, those tall conical helmets they had they looked a lot like Lord of the Rings type elves, and those long spears they had. And I did those guys. And everyone was going crazy about those guys. And I was like, well, they're not that good, but they're okay. And then I got these Elven Skirmishers. I don't know what they were. But I just remember like the one guy that was really cool in the group. He was an elf with a wooden shield, and he was in this long pose. And it was this long axe he had with a nice barbed, it's a barbed, bearded axe. It was a bearded axe. And his long bearded axe. And all my friends were just going crazy about how I made his axe and his shield. I made the wood look really real. And after a couple of paychecks and buying 1 unit a paycheck and then painting it over 2 weeks, building and painting it, and then the next paycheck buy another unit. And I prime it and I build and I paint it. And after like a couple of months doing this, I had this big elven army. And then I bought the rules of the game. I was going by the sheets that were in there, and a friend of mine who kind of knew the rules, and we just kind of figured out how to play the game. And then he bought the rule. He had the rules, and we went by it, and it was pretty cool. And we bought the Realms of Chaos book, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. We tried both making our own little custom Chaos war bands, and Chaos was so cool and edgy then. This is brand new. You know, all this cool stuff. And then I went back to the store, and I was talking with the owner, and we were talking about what was going on. And he was like, oh, I got this new book, but it's not for the fantasy side. It's for their Space Marine side. I'm like, Space Marines? I mean, it's cool, but, you know, I kind of like this whole fantasy thing. He's like, no, but there's a new group. There's a new group that they've actually done like an extra book for the Space Marines. They're Space Vikings or something. They're called the Space Wolves. And I read that book there. And I bought that book that day. And this was it was like a week after it come out. I bought that book, and I bought the box set that came with it, or that was sitting on the shelf. Didn't really come with it, and it had 30 plastic Marines in it, and it had a bunch of orcs and a bunch of, they still called them goblins back then. So there were a bunch of goblins with these gigantic guns, and all the orcs were like, I have a gun, I have an axe. And I started building Space Wolves because I fell in love with them. And I fell in love with 30K. And one of my roommates, who didn't really like the whole 40K thing, he bought all my elves off me. He's like, oh, dude. Yeah. I'm like, no, I don't know if I'm gonna play fantasy anymore. I'm gonna play this 40K. I don't know. I want to play this. And he's like, I don't know, man. It's not that great. I'm like, I think it's cool. And over time, he ended up buying all my elves off me. And all the money he gave me for the elves, I actually spent it on Blood Bowl figures because we started playing Blood Bowl. We had a league playing Blood Bowl. We were playing Blood Bowl, we were playing 40K. We played a little bit of fantasy, but fantasy kind of fell aside. We mainly played Blood Bowl and 40K. And I remember we were playing Pour Hammer. So we had, you know, coffee cans and tissue boxes and bowls that we'd flipped upside down to be hills. And the only time we ever had real terrain is when we go to the gaming store. And I was looking at the stuff at the gaming store, and I'm like, you know, Al and I used to make stuff like this for the railroad layout. I bet I can make this stuff. And I started making bunkers and walls and hills. And then I had to move, and I had basically this one crate of all my Warhammer stuff. And we didn't play as much because I didn't see those guys that much more after I moved. And then I got married and had kids. And once we had kids, I kind of had to pack up all my Warhammer stuff to make sure the kids, didn't put it in their mouths. And I spent 20 years away from really doing gaming on a whole. I mean, I was gaming. I was doing tabletop. I was playing role-playing. But miniatures weren't a part of it. Miniatures didn't come back in until my youngest was 8 or 9. Maybe, like 7 or 8, 7, 8, 9, somewhere in there. And then miniatures came back into the game because she knew she wasn't going to eat it. And then I got back into painting miniatures about 3-4 years ago. And I started, and the skills came right back. I mean, my skill levels came right back. It was crazy. I got through about a dozen figures, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's how I did that. And it was crazy how it came back like muscle memory. After painting like 15, 20 Blood Bowl teams in various different colors, and all those elves and all those space wolves and all the stuff I painted, it all really kind of came back really quickly. And it's improved a lot since then. I've gotten better and better and better. Like any muscle, when you do it more and you get better at it. Hey, Nick. And that was the thing. You do it more and the muscle memory comes back. And I figured, what the heck? Ray and I were talking. He'd been talking because he really likes 40K. He liked the lore. He'd been playing in a role-playing game for a while. And I'm like, you know what? I miss it so much. I love it so much. There's this new edition that just came out. Everybody's saying the rules are really great. Let's just do it. Let's just jump back in. A friend of mine who owns his own gaming store had gifted me the 7th edition box. And I tried to actually come back in 7th. And I was reading those rules. It was just so complicated, and I couldn't give it the time it needed. And I really wanted to. I just couldn't give it the time it needed. And an 8th edition came out. And yeah, it was just one of those. And I put it off right off the bat. I was thinking about, let's do this. I actually was going to get back when Kill Team came out a year ago, a little over a year ago. The original Kill Team box came out. I'm like, I'm going to get this. And by the time I was like, I pulled the trigger, it was sold out. I couldn't get it. And I'm like, that really would have been a game for me to get me back in. So I put it off for 6 months. And we went to the store, and I was thinking, well, maybe I could just buy the book, and I could maybe play some Kill Team there and just see what the store's like. And we were there, and we were talking with the owner or the manager of the store, Antonio. You are the man, Antonio. If anybody from Games Workshop is watching, if anybody can take feedback for Games Workshop, Antonio, the manager at the Layton Avenue store in Milwaukee, I can honestly credit him 100% for being the guy that got me back into 40K. Because he's what customer service was about. It wasn't about me buying anything. It was about me walking into a store. It has been great at getting people back in. And the way they've changed some policies and the way they do things. Like I said, I came in that store and I was talking with Antonio, and I'm there with the Kender, who's done a couple of videos with me, who's very intimidated by the male-dominated gaming industry. And she's like, last time she ever tried to look at wargaming, she was meant to feel like an outsider. I kind of knew what I was looking at, so he just let me walk around and look at stuff. And he took Kender and he walked her over to a set of figures, and he's like, what do you like about figures? Because she was already painting. So he asked her not what game did she want to play. He asked her, what do you like about figures? And she started looking immediately at the fantasy figures and was looking at the Daughters of Cain and looking at the Sylvaneth. And I'm like, well, what about 40K? And he's like, we'll get there, but let's first find out what she likes. And that struck me right there. So Games Workshop, your manager at the Milwaukee Layton Avenue store, he is a true gem. He is an amazing, amazing person. And I can credit him for getting me in. It was the care he gave the Kender about what she liked. Not what game did she want to play. What did she want to buy? What did she like? And worked from there first. And when she finally found out about the Sisters of Battle, she's like, oh, I like this. This looks cool. And so he's like, well, they don't have plastic figures yet, but they're working on that. He's like, well, and so she started painting some other figures that we had. She's like, I'm going to paint these. When the Sisters come out, I'm going to get them. So November, hopefully, when that comes out, we'll see. But this, so I guess what I'm saying is that gaming, wargaming is a passion. It's a passion that you've got to have. It can't just be figures on the table. It can be, I guess, but if you're just playing for figures on the table, I guess that's why I'm not a competitive player. My lists are fluffy. They have figures I like rather than figures that are the best. Death Guards suck. I mean, they're not competitive, but I love them so much because I like Nurgle. I've liked Nurgle since fantasy days. I thought he's the best. He's just so gross. And I know I've mentioned it on my channel. I did the, again, Nick, this is like 25, 30 boxes of Spellcrow add-on bits. I mean, honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm so flabbergasted by this. I'm still. Thank you. This has been wonderful. The mushrooms, all the stuff from Spellcrow. Gosh, Spellcrow, you are an amazing company. We got to get you in touch with some more stores here in the States and some more distributors here in the States. We got to get more of your stuff over here. We got to get your stuff over here, Spellcrow. Your stuff is too good to not be in every gaming store over here. We're going to be making some stuff, gamers. We're going to have some tutorials. I got a tutorial that's going to go up this weekend on how to do a chemical plant. That's done. I'm just doing the final edits on that. I'm going to get that up this weekend. And with Lady Dragon being down for surgery next week, she's going to be down and home for a couple of weeks. So my gaming is going to be cut down out of the house. So I'm going to be here. So I'm going to have a lot of time to work on stuff. So we're going to be making content. you know, with all this stuff here, I think the next thing we're going to make is our display board for Armies on Parade, where I'm going to start building my fetid, disgusting swamp. I think having these mushrooms and these new figure pieces, I think they're the push to let's do some painting, let's do some building. Hi, Casey. Whoever gets on my drawing when I get to the 500 viewers, when I get to 500 subscribers and I get that going, the bar has been set. The bar has been set over what we are going to do for you. So be prepared. Be prepared to be amazed. And it matters. And I'm gonna definitely want to look at the channel ahead of time because it's obvious Nick looked at mine as he looked right into me. I might, Nick. Depends what you got. I have a simple deal with Ray. Some of the pictures I paint for him, I paint 3 units for him, and he buys a unit for me at the store. So we'll talk about it. Thank you so much for being with me today. Nick, thank you so much for sharing this with me. I am stunned and shocked and excited and happy, and now I got a promise to keep, and that's to keep cranking out great content for you. We got to do more content. We got to do good stuff. We got to do stuff to spread the word, spread the game, spread the epicness. Gosh, these mushrooms are just so freaking fabulous. These are so cool. This is gonna look so good on the table. I can't even tell you how amazing these are gonna look on the table. Oh, I am so excited. My airbrush is gonna get put through some paces. And this is all resin, so there is going to be a learning curve here because I've only worked with resin a bit. I know how to work with it, but if I want to make this look good, I got to make sure to do a lot of cleaning and get a mask and all that. So maybe that's another thing we'll talk about is working with resin. So, and the funny thing is, out of all of this, and this is great stuff, I'm actually still so super excited for just this simple World War II plane. I'm looking forward to sitting down with my brother on this and just sitting down and building a model with my brother because I was a little kid. That's oh, Nick, you have no idea. You have no idea. When this is done, you need to rewind and watch all this. The guy from IDIC, Nick, just sent me so much happiness and bits from from Spellcrow. I mean, Spellcrow bits, gosh, this is just fabulous. Oh, so excited. All right. The washes from Green Stuff World. I'm really excited for these. I'm gonna want to try these out because these are actually a couple of colors I really want to see how these work out. I want to test them against like they say wash ink paints. So I mean, I gotta test and see what they're like against GW shades, because those are the ones I'm really used to using. And then the old school. I actually have somewhere a few still bottles of the old Citadel inks. That's what they called them. So if these are like those old inks, if these are like the old inks that GW used to produce, Citadel used to produce back in the day, I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, Green Stuff World puts up real quality products, so I'm excited. I'm beside myself. I'm like here and I'm here and I'm here. I'm so beside myself. I mean, I'm big enough to be 2 people already, but I feel like 3. So, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. This happened because I've got people to look at my stuff, and people want to see what I have to say. And as one gray hunter speaks to his blood claws and tries to impart wisdom, when it comes to your gaming, when it comes to your wargaming, when it comes to your tabletop gaming, when it comes to your crafting, when it comes to stuff that your imagination gets you doing, never stop trying to improve, and never hesitate sharing what you've learned with others. When you share that knowledge, other people see that and will share it back. And now you both will learn. And when you learn, you get better. And when you get better, you get more epic. I played in a 2,000-point tournament league, actually, last night. And I sat down and I put 2,000 points of Space Wolves on the table. Space Wolves that I've painted since April. I've painted 2,000 points. It's a 52-figure army. It's not the best army. It didn't win. We ended up drawing, and if we'd gone another turn, he'd have won. But looking at that 2,000 points on the table, I was so proud I had done that. And people were looking at my figures going, those are really great. Oh, that's really cool. Wow, that's really nice. That's a really great tank. Dude, your Dreadnought looks cool. And I know that I'm going to get better. And I got more to paint. And I'm looking at these. I mean, I already put my Plague Marines on the table, and people are like, oh, that's gross. This is going to take my game to another level. And by doing these on the channel, I'm going to teach you, my viewers, how to take your game to the next channel, how to take it to the next level. And that's what this has been about from the beginning. Epic your board and epic your game. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next Tuesday. Good night, everyone.